Yes. Are you guys ready for UFC 287? I know I am, man. I've been waiting all week for this. As a content creator, we got to kind of get ready a little bit early. We got to put in all the work. I've already done all my shows for the week, signed off late Wednesday night for Ask Weezy. But we have one more order of business left, and that's putting together this week's Greasy four-leg parlay, which will hopefully be hitting this time. We were one leg away last week. Chidi Njokuani losing by split decision to Albert Duraev. Boy, if I would have known he would have shown up and throwing no volume and just really looking completely disinterested. And not only would I have not made him the ass shaving of the week, but there's no way he would have got near my parlay. But that's the game that we play. We're betting wide odds here, so it's nice when we hit one every once in a while, but I'm looking to hit this one. I hope you guys are as well. Let me just see here real quick who is in the chat with us right now. We've got Victor De Jesus is in the room saying, oh, yes, let's cash Greasy four-leggers. We got the Cuban Assassin saying, what it do, Weezy? My dad lives a block from the arena in Miami, and the doorman at his building gave my dad his floor seat. So my dad just copped a bootleg Masvidal shirt for the occasion. Let's go. Dude, that's awesome. Your old man's going to be there. Floor seats, dude, that's so badass. He's going to have such a good time. Hopefully he gets even a little bit of blood on him just so he could be like, hey, this is the shirt I wore to UFC 287. And after Chase Sherman got his ass shaved, I got hit with a little bit of blood. It would be really fun, man. But thanks for checking in with us, Cuban Assassin. We got Jeremy Renninger saying, oi. We got MMA Jesus in the room. What's up, dude? We got Kiwi saying, churro. What's up, Kiwi? Good to see you in here, man. We got Joshua Major. Oi. Fisher and Major in the UK, 3:30. Super dedication, dude. Wow, man. 3:30 a.m. and you're here watching your Uncle Weezy put together a Greasy four-leg parlay. That is dedication. That's the kind of dedication that allows us to be able to stack cash tickets like Flapjack. So I feel extra motivated to hit this one this week. Jorge via KO plus 600. That's not a bad line at all, man. Via KO, dude, that's probably his best win condition here. And he's saying Izzy and new via KO. He almost had Pereira at the end of the first round, man. Landed a big shot right behind the ear. Jay Stanford saying, oi, Weezy, let's get it. I need 6 picks for DK, please. All right, so here's my lineup for DraftKings. It is Amorim, Williams, shit. I think I've got Alex Pereira in there. I've got Rob Font in there. I've got Jorge Masvidal in there. And I think I have either Pfeiffer or somebody else that's around 9,000. You got Chase Sherman? Dude, yeah, I don't think Chase Sherman's going to win this fight, man. His wrestling is really bad. And I think that people are under the impression that Carl Williams has bad cardio. He does not have bad cardio. He might have had an adrenaline dump, but I mean, it might have looked like he was gassed, but he got 8 takedowns and over 10 minutes of control time, man. And let me tell you something. If he does that for one round to Chase Sherman is not going to look as good in the second as Bresky did. Chase Sherman's got the worst gas tank. Chase Sherman doesn't have a gas tank that's going to be able to break Carl Williams at any point in this fight. Carl Williams will be the better conditioned athlete here. But if you're betting Chase Sherman, you're getting such wide odds that there's nothing wrong with taking that side, over the long term, and especially in heavyweights where you can get clipped. These guys all hit hard. So I don't have a problem with it. I'm definitely on the Williams side here, but it's all right, man. We'll see how it all shakes out. It's a fight. If you're 100% confident about anything, it shows that you haven't learned anything about the game. All kinds of crazy shit happens in this sport. Rouse is in the room saying, oi, Weezy, the Flapjacks are sizzling. Let's get it, man. Rogelio Villagrana in the room saying, my 3-legger, what do you think? Amorim under 2.5, I like it. Holland KO, I think there's a very good chance. Rosas Jr. sub. That's the one I like the least out of it. I have a bet on the Christian Rodriguez money line, but the weight miss definitely worries me. Giannis and Pfeiffer via KO. I got Pfeiffer via KO, and I think if Giannis does win, it's going to be by KO. I got Sam Hughes too. Okay, yeah, I do not have Sam Hughes. Williams on a week notice. I don't know about minus 300 wild. Yeah, I mean, he's on a week's notice, but don't forget, he doesn't have to cut any weight at all. He's a former light heavyweight. So there's no weight cut. And if he's in shape, then it shouldn't be a big deal for him. And here's the other thing about Sherman. He was training for Fat Barnett. Fat Barnett wasn't going to grapple him at all. And then the week of the fight now, he gets a change in opponent that's just night and day, completely different styles. So I think that that's bad for Chase because Williams hasn't had to worry about anybody but Chase. And I mean, I think that his natural style, the way that he fights, is already a real good match. And then Sam Hughes via sub plus 1400, dude. If that hits, Dev, man, that would be just such a huge call. You've got some long shot calls here. We'll see how it all works out. But I know that Dev won't be trailing my parlay this week because I got one of them is a Carl Williams leg. But let's get into it, you guys. Let's see here. First leg is going to be the Jacqueline Amorim inside the distance line at plus 130. So I've got Jacqueline Amorim as Uncle Weezy's ass shaving of the week this week. She is a second-degree black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. She's been training an American Top Team for the last couple of years. She has finished all 6 of her professional wins in the first round. And I really do believe that Jacqueline Amorim's best win condition here is inside the distance, and it's probably first-round submission. But if the fight does get extended, that's when Sam Hughes is going to get better. So I kind of feel like you can get the Amorim money line is 265 down to plus 130 for inside the distance. And it allows you to kind of get Jacqueline by her best win condition because we haven't seen her past the first round. You know, it could be something that we don't know what she's going to look like. She could have a massive adrenaline dump. She might have really bad conditioning for all we know. I mean, training at American Top Team, she's probably got fantastic conditioning. But we got Uncle Weezy's ass shaving of the week, predicting that she shaves ass and she gets Sam Hughes out of there in the first round, second round. And so we're going to get that plus money start here for Amorim inside the distance. So let's go to fight or winning method on DraftKings. And we're going to go the method of victory double chance and Jacqueline Amorim to win by KO, TKO, DQ, or submission, plus 130. Leg 2 is the Ignacio Bahamondes money line at minus 380. A Chicago guy, originally from Santiago, Chile. Ignacio Bahamondes looks a lot like Daniel Zellhuber, who just went out there and recently lost to Trey Ogden. I'm a big fan of Bahamondes. This guy's very young. He's got a huge frame for the division, excellent kickboxing, excellent durability and heart, excellent conditioning, and he's starting to show off a front choke series, which is going to come in real handy when people get sick of getting boxed up by him and shoot in sloppily for takedowns. So I think that this is going to be a bad matchup for Ogden. I think he might want to wrestle for 3 rounds. I just don't think that he's able to do that. And I don't think he's going to have an easy time getting Ignacio Bahamondes down. Bahamondes with over 90% takedown defense thus far at the UFC level. And he's getting older. He's getting better. He's getting to the point in his career where he's going to start making big leaps and bounds between fights because he's been doing this for so long. A lot of that footage where you see Ignacio Bahamondes getting grappled by his opponents, he was 18 years old, 19 years old. This is a 25-year-old man now. So, you know, he's getting better with every fight. And I'm very confident about his ability to be able to get the job done here on Saturday over Trey Ogden. So I think that this is going to be an easy one here, a nice wide line. But minus 380 brings this parlay up to plus 190. Leg 3 is going to be the Carl Williams Chase Sherman under 1.5 rounds. And I know that this seems counterintuitive, but Chase Sherman has really faced 2 wrestlers at the UFC level, and they were Alexander Romanov and, well, actually, he's faced one. It was Alexander Romanov. The other guy, Fat Collier, caught a kick of his, put him on his ass, and then subbed him almost immediately afterwards. Chase really doesn't have a ground game. He probably wasn't training his ground game in order to get ready for Fat Barnett here. And so I really think that Carl is going to be dominant once he gets this fight to the ground. And I think he will get it to the ground early here. So I'm really looking for Carl Williams to do what we haven't really seen him do much of. But when Carl Williams does win fights, it's early. He hasn't been a guy that has broken people late in fights yet. He is a guy who can take people down and get to a dominant position. And if you are a fish out of water on the ground, I think what's going to happen here is the ref is going to pull Carl Williams off of Chase Sherman here near the end of this first round once he gets to a dominant position, gets a wrist ride, and starts landing some nasty ground and pound. If Chase isn't able to defend himself in that situation, I think that that's how this fight ends. It is a plus 185 line, so it is going to make this fight very it's going to make this parlay very thick, very rich, like maple syrup that we drizzle over flapjacks. This is going to fatten up this parlay, my friends. And we're going to go to the alternative total rounds here under fight lines. And we are looking for the under 1.5 for Carl Williams versus Chase Sherman at plus 185, bringing this parlay up to 728, a plus 728, which brings us to the fourth leg, which is going to be the Kelvin Gastelum, Chris Curtis over 2.5 rounds at minus 220. Chris Curtis, I believe, has 8 career losses. Only 2 of them have been inside the distance. Only 1 of them has been by knockout. And Kelvin Gastelum has only been finished twice in his career, both by submission. Chris Curtis is not submitting anybody. You would need to hit these guys in the head with a shovel to knock them out, both of them. Curtis got knocked out by Ray Cooper Jr. It was his second fight of that night, and he was taken down and ground and pounded by a much better wrestler. So I don't think that we're going to see this fight end. I think it's going to go all the way to decision. I think it's going to be a pretty close fight, but I do love counting on the durability of Gastelum and Curtis. And I think where both of these guys are at their weakest, their opponent's path to victory doesn't necessarily take them in that direction. So minus 220 for the over 2.5 rounds in Gastelum Curtis. That's going to be here under the total rounds under fight lines. And we've got the over 2.5 is minus 220. That brings this 4-leg parlay up to plus 1104 on DraftKings Sportsbook. Let's cash this one, you guys. We were a split decision away from cashing the one 2 weeks ago. Chidi Njokuani did not get the job done. And let's go, you guys. Let's cash this one. I appreciate all you guys hanging out. My guy Bob Spikerman's in the room here. And AMS 6-0 opponents only have 11 wins. Yeah, Amareem she can only beat the girls they put in front of her. But 2 of those fights scheduled for 5 rounds. Loveth Young is a pretty good regional scene fighter, and she made it look really easy against Loveth. Sam Hughes has less than 50% takedown defense, and she's really not known for her grappling. She's had success against girls in Estela Nunez and Elise Reed, who really have no grappling upside at all. This is really a different matchup. So, but I have got to go pick up a pizza so I can have some dinner tonight, you guys. I appreciate all you guys hanging out here, 25 of you. Hit that thumbs up on your way out. Hit that subscribe on your way out. Hey, and if you could too, leave me a comment. Just yell "oi" at me, or let me know what you're thinking for a Greasy 4-legger this week. I wish all of you guys luck betting on these fights on Saturday. Let's all stack cash tickets like flapjacks for UFC 287. God bless each and every one of you. And I will be back on Sunday for Stat Diggers, 6:15 Central. Or no, actually not Sunday, because that's Easter Sunday. So I think Brady and I are going to be doing Stat Diggers on Monday night after the Die Hard MMA podcast with Clint. We're going to do it after Clint this week. So that everybody can enjoy their Easter Sunday without having to worry about whether they're going to piss off their family watching me and Brady break down the next week of fights while everybody's having their Easter dinner. So everybody have a great time watching the fights. God bless. And I will see you guys next week. Take care. And let's make some money betting on these fights, you guys.